You're watching Poot's Garage. This week, we're gonna finally fix this steering. Try and keep this video a little more simple. We're gonna stick to strictly just steering. I was gonna bunch it in with some other stuff, but I realized that what else I got going on is gonna be a whole nother video on its own. There's a lot going on there. So that'll be drive shafts. So when everybody's excited about my drive shaft videos, those will come out a little bit later. But this week we have a new Pitman arm. This is a Pitman arm from Offroad Design. The one I have on the truck now is like a 4-inch drop or 4.5-inch drop, and this is a, I don't know, 2.5-inch drop or 1.5-inch drop. I don't know. But we're gonna gain some clearance because our high steering upgrade that we did on this thing is having an issue right now. So it's having an issue because we moved our axle 1 inch forward. I will show you all that here in just a minute. And of course, before we get into that, I gotta let you know that I do have stickers still. These stickers are free. All you gotta do is send me your mailing address to pootsgarage@gmail.com. That email will be in the description of this video. So if you'd like one, just send me a message and I'll send them out. And we also gotta get to the map. I haven't done this for about 2 weeks now, so we are way behind on that, so check this out. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the map. So for anybody new here, what we do is you call out where you're watching from and I'll put a red pin on the map. Now I missed doing this last weekend because I was out of town, so we gotta add 2 weeks together. Now I'm not gonna bore you guys with that many locations, so I'm gonna split this into 2 since I'm actually doing 2 videos this weekend. So let's get to the first half. First up is Lake Winnipesaukee, New Hampshire. Next is the whole state of Connecticut. Our first for Rhode Island is Warwick, Rhode Island. Sweet Home, Oregon. Graham, Washington. St. Thomas, Ontario, Canada. Kalispell, Montana. Albuquerque, New Mexico. American Fork, Utah. North Hudson, Wisconsin. Basin, Wyoming. Sanford, North Carolina. Statesville, North Carolina. This one's a workout. This one's hard to say. So this is the town of Djurholm in Västerbotten, Sweden. Hillsborough, New Jersey. And last is Modesto, California. That's it for all the pins on this video. I'll do the other half on the next video, so keep an eye out for that. But keep calling out them cities, them states, them counties, them countries, whatever you want to represent. As you may notice, we got a lot of parts on the table here again, so we got some work to do. I don't remember if I mentioned in a previous video, but we got some new jaws on our vise there. It's looking good, cleaned up. That thing's a little more usable now. I got the steel jaws underneath, and I got these magnetic aluminum jaws for over the top. Looking good. Then for any tool fans out there, I picked up this little DeWalt blower. This thing's actually pretty nice. It fits your 20 volt batteries, and it's got quite a bit of power. So that'll just kind of let me help keep the shop a little cleaner. I can blow stuff off the floor, the bench. I actually really wanted it for outside so I can blow sand off of my patio and stuff like that. And I didn't need a gigantic blower, and I'm not upgrading to the, 60 volt or whatever the big DeWalt stuff is. So this little guy actually puts out a ton of air, and it's perfect for just, cleaning your floors off and stuff. The other parts we got going on is I got both of our drive shafts sitting here. I haven't even opened them up yet. The boxes are still sealed. I was out of town last weekend, so I couldn't get these on, but we're not gonna put those on this video. You guys will have to wait and watch that on a next video, but I am very excited to see what's in these. This week, all we're working on is this little Pitman arm. It's nothing too exciting. These are stout looking little units, but yeah, we got to get this on, and then we can hopefully get our steering all buttoned up. For anybody new here, what we got going on is we got a PSC steering box. We have crossover and high steer from Offroad Designs. You can see the new steering arms and all that stuff. And the issue is I had these leaf springs made with the center pin 1 inch forward, so we moved the whole axle forward, which actually ended up pushing our tie rods and everything 1 inch forward. And now, as you can see, I only got about 2 inches clearance between that, and so when my axle compresses, I'm gonna hit. Now to correct that, we're gonna install this Pitman arm instead. This is gonna hold the drag link up much higher, and it's actually gonna pull it forward slightly. So fingers crossed that this fixes all this. And while I got you here, I do want to mention that YouTube is a strange beast, man. This thing is so hard to conquer. Many of you may know that I'm actively trying to grow this channel right now. now. I'm trying to make it bigger and do all sorts of cool things. But God, this YouTube thing is crazy. So last weekend I wasn't able to get a video up. I was out of town, I was doing family stuff, you know, and the little bit of time I had, I just wasn't motivated to sit down there and edit videos for hours on end, so I ended up not doing that. But I did get it done a couple days later, and we dropped a video in the middle of the week, which is when I normally don't post videos. So it was it's different right now. That video actually came out this morning. I'm filming this on a Wednesday right now, or no, today's Thursday, sorry. So I'm hoping the time difference doesn't screw up the whole YouTube algorithm thing and whatnot, but hey, we're trying. We're doing different things. But it did get me thinking about how sometimes when I get too much information going on here, and like this weekend's probably gonna have way too much information for one video, so I need to start making multiple videos. I don't think I can stand to do multiple 20 to 30 minute videos like I normally do, so I might end up putting in some shorter videos here and there, but we'll try and keep some big stuff for the weekend still. So we're just kind of playing with things left and right, and you know, I appreciate any feedback that you guys want to give me. Most of the feedback you give me right now is great. It's all good stuff. Everybody loves what they're seeing and whatnot, so I love hearing that. But even constructive criticism, I'm open to all that stuff. I really enjoy all the emails that everybody sends me and all the pictures that you're sending me. You know, I'll be able to stuff pictures that you send me into these videos as we go, and then yeah, I just love all the interactions and stuff that we get going on. Well, in order to get this old Pitman arm off, looks like I need to get some more clearance in there, so we're gonna put this thing back up on jack stands. We got the truck jacked up. It is, had to put the jack stands on blocks of wood even. I don't like using wood, but it's pretty stable. The back end is still on the ground, so it doesn't have full weight up here. And also, these front tires are actually just barely touching the ground still. There's not a whole lot of weight, but we pretty much have full droop on the front springs. That gives us the most room possible to work under there. I think I got enough room in here to work now. Should be enough room for my Pitman arm puller, and the impact gun should fit up there one way or another. Here's the difference between those two Pitman arms. This is the one I had on there, obviously, the big drop, and this one's a little shallower. Hold them flat on the ground there, you can see how much of a difference they are. It actually came out really easy. I was kind of surprised. It's a brand new part, it was just installed, so usually they come right back off. So let's get the new one on. Alright, after a quick dinner break, I'm back out. We had already finished putting in the steering. All that stuff is bolted back up, as you saw. We need to check that clearance on that nut and the stud to see how close it is to the frame, to see if or how much we got to trim. Alright, you can see how close our stud is there to the frame, so I'm going to turn slowly and see how close it gets. It's the wrong way. Apparently that's the wrong way. So you can see where we're hitting there. It's not too bad, but we are gonna take the grinder and take the top of that stud off, and then we're gonna take the corner of that nut off too. So yeah, let's do that. Alright, you can just barely see we got enough clearance there. I'm going to take just a little bit more to make sure we have plenty more. You see the hole through the stud on that tie rod? I drilled a new hole below that for the cotter pin, and it's in there right now, so I'm not worried about going into that hole too much. But yeah, I'm going to take a little bit more just to give it some extra clearance, and then I think we'll be good. Alright, that's it. We got our clearance. I'm happy with that. We went into the nut a little bit, but we're just still in the castellated part, so we're not really taking any strength away from that nut. And we moved that cotter pin down to a new hole, so we don't have to worry about any strength there. So I think we are good. Now the final part of this is to put this truck back on the ground and see how much clearance we actually gained on that tie rod and drag link. Okay, we're back on the ground. So you can see our tie rod is a little further away. It's still underneath the end of that drag link, but it's further back. So as the axle compresses, it should swing back just enough to clear it. But we also have quite a bit more room underneath it as well. As you can see there, now we got a good probably 4 or 5 inches there now. So now we got some room for compression, plus this axle is going to move back as it compresses and it should clear. And now for how level our drag link is now, you can see it's got a little bit of upwardness to it now, but I don't think that's enough to really worry about. So I think we are sitting pretty good right now. I'm going to try and flex this thing out with the floor jack just to see if I can get it to move a little bit. Well, I tried. The floor jack is as high as it can go with its little block of wood I got under there. I can maybe go a little bit more, but it's not really making a whole big difference. But you can see where we're at. We still have 4 inches underneath it there. It barely came up at all. It's just front and rear suspension is moving, so it's not doing a whole lot. So we're just gonna have to wait till we get this thing on the ground and driving and flexing out and different things before I can see how much clearance I really have. But for now, we are doing excellent. It's streetable now. I'm not afraid of hitting a big bump and smashing my tie rod off or anything like that just on the road. So we definitely have enough clearance now. All right guys, I think that concludes this video. We've accomplished another thing, another check off the list. And please like, comment, and subscribe. And the next video coming up is going to be putting drive shafts on this thing.